the top of the Empire State Building. 97.1 WQHT, New York.
We're in a very instantaneous, microwavable age. Everything is just so now, fast. Everything about our lives is fast. So we want our music that way too. We want our information that way too.
If I could be Google, that'd be great. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to just soak up as much information as I can.
I remember the first time I saw the internet, every nerve like in my body was like, that's where you want to be.
Internet, c'est vraiment pour les artistes le tournant déterminant qui change la donne à tout point de vue.
Everybody that I ever met in rap history was through the internet.
I have a channel and I could put something up and it can gain 1 million views on my personal channel.
I love the internet. There's nothing like it.
Born in the 70s at a time when black music wasn't played on white radio stations, hip-hop, the invention of a DJ who discovered the breakbeat, has conquered the world and become the music of a generation. In the beginning of the 2000s, the legal war instigated by the record industry against music file-sharing program Napster marks the beginning of its financial woes. Illegal downloading is considered the root of all problems by an industry in decline.
When I came in the music business, you had NSYNC and Eminem and O-Town selling 1 million records first week out. If you rap 16 bars on your homeboy album, you could make $100,000 a year. There was a lot of money in the business.
L'effet d'Internet a complètement, surtout sur une génération de consommateurs jeunes, qui sont des consommateurs en général de musique urbaine, ça a totalement révolutionné et à la fois la manière de promouvoir des artistes et complètement révolutionné l'achat. Et à l'époque, il n'y avait pas de solution monétisable au niveau digital pour compenser.
The labels have always, even since the beginning of fucking time, have always kind of been a step behind in technological advancement. Now it's to the point where you have a generation of listeners who view free music as an entitlement. Like, you talk to my son generation, like, they like pay for music, huh? Nigga, that's for suckers.
I think people that were really involved with it in the 90s or earlier, or even in the early 2000s, are used to a certain way of making money. That's not how you make money anymore. We're used to just releasing a CD, you know, with a couple good songs on it and making millions of dollars. It's not how it works anymore. Now you have to really work.
In 1998, Chuck D, leader of Public Enemy, anticipates the industry's sinking ship and shows that independence for an artist can be achieved on the web.
We felt that we can tighten up and build an infrastructure in the realm of the internet that would service us instead of asking somebody to put us amongst their competition. We can create our own little world. I mean, the first divisions were a little bit, you know, futuristic. Like, we wanted to build our own TV networks and our own radio networks on the web. It connected us with the rest of the world quicker than the rest of the world could get to us. That was very important.
The transition from a physical medium to a digital one is not well managed by labels, who are slow in finding a monetized solution. With the invention of iTunes, Steve Jobs takes this opportunity to impose a single pricing for digital downloads. Record stores are closing one after the other. In September 2010, Fat Beats, the legendary vinyl store, closes its door after more than 16 years dedicated to hip-hop.
Today's a sad day because things are changing. Cats aren't buying vinyl like they used to. The younger generation are using computers and downloading music, and I guess a little bit of the soul of hip-hop is being taken away.
You know, the digital world, it's just different. You know, the kids, everything is just different. So it's hard to like compare the two because it's for people who experience the physical life and the digital, it's like the physical is way better.
Fat Beats was a spot where fans could meet and greet the artists and the resident DJs and find all the latest underground albums and mixtapes.
All these people in here kind of keeps you going. This kind of energy you need is real positive.
West Coast. West Coast, stand up, come on. Corrupt in here. Hey, corrupt, you got it.
Fat Beats, we love you so much. I mean, just the come on, man. The cats who work here are hip-hop legends themselves. I mean, say no more.
I just wanted to say, please, before Sunday is the last day you can see this store physically, this is the end of an era. For real. Ends up in the air. And salute yourself, because without you, we are nothing. Thank you very much, Los Angeles. Thank you.
I mean, you know, the reality is like for Fat Beats to stay the same Fat Beats it was from 94 to like 2000 is impossible. I mean, society changed, the world changed. You know, we would be in a time lapse.
The first real change brought by the internet lies in the opportunity it gives to listen to music anywhere, anytime. With iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Spotify, never has music been so shared and consumed throughout the world.
It went from handing out mixtapes, handing out CDs in front of a store, or in front of a label or whatever, to trying to get your records posted on a blog. You know what I mean? Blogs are the new mixtapes. If you want to hear new music, you don't wait for a new DJ to drop a mixtape with 20 new tracks or 30 new tracks and exclusives. You just go to Nah Right. You go to Two Dope Boys. You go to On Smash.
Hip-hop artists are the first to give away free music in large quantities via mixtapes, which are large compilation albums distributed via the web.
L'ère du numérique arrive avec donc non seulement la diffusion avec Internet, mais aussi la manière de faire des mixtapes. Aujourd'hui, tu télécharges les MP3, tu mets tout ça dans l'ordinateur et tu peux les mixer de la même manière que si tu avais tous les vinyles.
We've gotten to the point where you know, labels are coming to the realization like that they can't keep ignoring the blogs. You know, there's a budget for that now. You can't really sell records without it.
So the story changed a little bit. You do have blog rappers and internet rappers that are successful. You got Wiz Khalifa, you got Currency. You know, they were on majors and the majors didn't get the movement they were trying to move with, and they went directly to the people.
New Orleans rapper Currency signs his first major deal in 2002, but goes independent 5 years later, leaving his label and building his audience by giving out numerous free mixtapes. He's emblematic of this new generation of artists for whom giving out free music is a savvy business move.
Is everybody out here cool right now? Alright. So yo, whoever's manning that CD, because I don't travel with a DJ, it's just me and a MacBook and a rental car. So my man, let's go. Let's get some volume behind that, so. Yeah.
What we doing, man, it's not even that new. We've been around, it's just that the world caught up to the web, you know what I'm saying, to the internet, and they really, and they saw that there's a lot of music floating around on the internet, a lot of people building buzzes, and we don't have to exist in the mainstream world. It was just a resurgence for underground rappers once they all figured out the internet, you know.
Distribution today, everybody has it for free. So you can go on YouTube or even apply to iTunes and get it. So today, like you, me, anybody can produce a song, whether it sounds good or not, the whole world can hear it if you want them to. And that was like the power of the labels back then. Now it's not how do I get distributed, it's about how do I get people to notice me in this big sea of people on YouTube.
The second real change brought by the internet lies in the ability for artists to communicate directly with their audience, thus bypassing traditional media. The hip-hop community occupies the web, using MySpace, YouTube, Twitter, Ustream, Tumblr, Facebook, and Instagram as a means to promote themselves. No one grasped this concept better than young Wiz Khalifa from Pittsburgh, an emerging star in 2010. He takes this opportunity to start communicating strongly with his fans. It's the birth of the Taylor Gang.
3 years ago, I just been heavy on the internet. So I just molded my career by being a fan and seeing what I wanted, you know what I'm saying? Just making what I wanted to see happen and then just capitalizing off of that, you know what I'm saying? And my fans, they want it fast. They want good music. They want shit held from them. They want to be surprised. They want to see me working with these people. They want a little controversy over here. I just really just paid attention to that and then gave it to them, you know?
I think what's so unique about Wiz Khalifa is that he is someone that right from the second I heard one of his tracks, I was like, wow, this guy just makes me feel good. And one thing that got me so connected to him is when he first explained what Taylor Gang was. He was like, this is how you need to be. You need to be comfortable with yourself, do what you want, make your own choices, and at the end of the day, it's all good.
Entertainment. And we love Wiz Khalifa.
Taylor Gang.
Taylor Gang.
Wiz is really the perfect artist to describe in really knowing what the hell he's doing to harness this new age in music with the internet and with the physical, fan base.
He would be on YouTube for hours, rolling weed and just talking. And I'd be like, he's looking silly. What is he doing? Then a year go by, then he's using. I bump into him. I'm like, man, what the fuck? How'd you do this? He said, man, if you got a laptop, there's no excuse to be not successful.
Having left Warner Brothers due to editorial differences, Wiz Khalifa, assisted by his long-term manager Benji Grimberg, starts building the greatest buzz of his career.
Wiz and I had a talk before I flew out to LA, and the way Wiz described it, he's like, before we came to Warner Brothers, we were getting bigger every day. And then when we got to Warner Brothers, it just sort of leveled off.
I can branch out and do a club song. I could do a radio song. I could do a hip-hop type track. I could do a weed song. I could do a rock type song. So it's kind of hard to, put that in a box. And labels really want to put you in a box. So, it took just that time to let people know, all right, this is me, the universal person, you know what I'm saying?
It was at this time that Wiz really realized that he needed to be part of the promotion. He needed to play a role in being accessible to his fan base. When he had that realization, I really think a lot of things changed at that point, We were growing exponentially. Each month, his fan base would grow. Twitter wasn't quite popular yet, but once it did, that really helped take everything to the next level.
In 2010, Kush and Orange Juice was his 8th mixtape, takes the internet by storm. It's the first trending topic on Google and Twitter, and soon the most downloaded mixtape of the year. Never before did a rapper create such a major event with a free album.
His fans singing every word to mesmerize when he comes on stage. There's no marketing behind that, and that just goes to show how far that these things can go on their own.
I think, especially with social media, it's becoming easier for artists to go that kind of route too, where they eventually go independent because they have access to all their fans.
I always have artists asking me, well, how can I get more followers? And I said to them, well, you're coming to it with the wrong perspective. The world doesn't owe you followers. You owe your followers the world. And when you realize that this is actually a service you're providing, you're allowing people into your life, you're having a conversation with them, you're giving them exclusive glimpses into what you're doing, then that will create the loyalty that will lead to more followers.
In February 2009, Wiz asked his fans to follow him on the new social network Twitter. To date, he has more than 12 million followers.
Twitter's a real good outlet for me to get my personality out there. So when I do meet people and then meet them in real life and get to chop it up and they see, exactly what type of person I am, you know what I'm saying? It's a blessing, man, for real.
One of the things I used to say when I worked there was that Twitter was the next best thing to backstage. And one of the things I used to tell artists when I worked with them was, you may get tired of green rooms and backstage and sound check, but for 1 million kids that follow you, they will never know what that looks like. And this is the platform that gives you the opportunity to show them that. And that is so powerful.
This is how you communicate to your audience now. This is how you build your audience now. And it's great. It's an exciting time, I think.
He really brought the internet to life. He did that. A lot of these internet sensations wouldn't be shit without Wiz Khalifa because he broke that internet mold.
You know, we're talking about the issue of with everybody having access to exposure, how do you stand out? And I think the way you stand out is refining how you use each little element and do it differently and innovate and, you know, do it better. And I think that's where it's going to get interesting. It's adding like 5 more layers of creativity to show and prove what you can bring to the table. And the great thing is, again, it's free. So if you're somebody at home who has an amazing amount of creativity, but you don't have that much resources or infrastructure, I mean, social media is a godsend. I mean, it's the biggest gift we've gotten in entertainment since I've been alive.
The trendsetter of this new generation of internet rappers is Lil B. This most prolific artist is known for his numerous mixtapes, hundreds of MySpace pages, and based freestyles inspired by surrealism. His fans celebrate his alter ego, the Based God.
Social media and the kind of digital revolution has, you know, opened and leveled the playing field in a major way. You know, from major label artists that, you know, would get, you know, huge support, marketing, and distribution from the labels. You know, now you also have a guy like a Lil B who's aggregated a fan base for himself by relentlessly, you know, kind of hammering the internet and being everywhere that aggregates music fans.
This is where it all started right here, baby. I'm gonna tell you like this. Shouts out to my Wolfpack brothers, my nigga.
Thought about Lil B maybe 2005, 2006 with the Pack. I went to one of their shows. Like right away, I could see that Lil B had something, you know, that I was just drawn. I was like, who's that guy, you know, which one?
The word swag was died. It died for a while. It died, and I brought it back. I hated the word swag for a point in time, and I didn't want to use it, and it just became, so I started saying it, and it became hot.
Swag, 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 swag.
He doesn't have this huge marketing machine. Everyone's like, oh, you know, he must be paying his huge publicist, you know, to be on TMZ and to...
We got the bass god himself, Lil B.
To be on Wall Street Journal and then CNN, all this shit, it's like, no, that's Lil B. That's just him on Twitter, and that's his genius.
So the people really mad me because, you know, the industry's scared of me because I do what the fuck I want, when the fuck I want, where the fuck I want, because you know what, I'm fucking Lil B.
With people in the major record industry, you know, and they're scared of that Lil B model, but it's hard to, you know, stay relevant almost or compete with something like the Lil B model, which is just like put everything up all the time, immediately.
It's not about creating something that's timeless, classic, and perfect. It's about creating what you wanted to create in the moment and something that's like kind of speaks to you on a personal level.
Say I love life. I love life. Say I love you. I love you. Say praise God. Praise God. Say praise God. Praise God.
Lil B is definitely like in the genre of rap, but he's doing something different. You know, he's rapping over electronic, like emo beats. You know, he's making his own experimental music. He's definitely pushing the boundaries.
He brings the entertainment. He brings the fun factor. Swag. He brings the lyricism when he feels like it. Swag. You know, he brings the swag. He brings the swag. He brings the swag. You cook every day. Like you just be in the kitchen, just right. And when we all get together, it's like a swag.
Lil B's most famous invention is the cooking dance, a gimmick born from a YouTube video that was spread throughout the world and convert numerous fans.
Cooking is just a blessing. So the thing about cooking is proceed, close, scoop, cooking.
I think he's showing that, you know, that you can have a good time and make fun of it and have fun with it at the same time.
He responds almost to everybody that, tweets or retweets him. He stays at the end of shows to shake hands with, he'll stay for the whole night to like shake hands with his fans. So I think that, pedestal that artists have, typically been put on and marketed that way, I think that has really like closed the gap between the fan and the artist.
How we would say, I want to be Michael Jackson, and, we look to a label to blow us up. I think the next generation is going to see more where, I want to be like Soulja Boy, or I want to be like Lil B or whatever, just kind of these kind of self-made internet stars.
It's completely controlled by the ebb and flow of the consumer. The record industry has no control over it. The artists, if they're smart, can take control of their fan base and can lead and guide their fan base. But the record companies have no clue as to what's going on right now.
In 2013, artists don't need loudspeakers to congregate the masses anymore. A Facebook message or a tweet is sufficient to gather the people. In France, far from the reach of traditional media, the comeback of open mics and freestyles signals the emergence of a new rap scene.
À l'époque, t'avais des émissions Space sur Skyrock. Bon, elles ont disparu. Il n'en reste qu'une. Cut Killer Show. T'avais des émissions aussi sur 88.2. Il n'y en a plus. Donc, tu vois, quand tout ça a disparu, tu vois, c'était dur. Parce qu'à l'époque, c'était ces émissions qui faisaient découvrir les artistes. Aujourd'hui, t'as Internet. Ah, tu vois, 95, c'est un pur produit d'Internet. Section d'assaut aussi, pareil. Même tous les autres, j'ai envie de te dire. Tous.
En France, il y avait quand même, dans ce qui est médiatisé, il y avait un vrai problème de culture hip-hop, tu vois. C'est pas LA, la France. Les gens, ils s'en foutent de ce qui se faisait avant. Ils écoutent la radio et ils essayent, tu vois, par exemple, nous, on n'a jamais envoyé nos disques à des maisons de disques.
By posting videos and freestyles on video platforms, French hip-hop entity L'Entourage, of which 1995 is a part of, finds its rise on the web.
Moi, je fais partie donc d'un collectif qui s'appelle L'Entourage. On a tous une passion commune pour l'art de la rime, vraiment, et le MCing. Et on a fait un truc qui s'appelait les Rap Contenders, qui est pareil aussi disponible sur Internet, sur YouTube, qui était en gros des battles a cappella. Pour te faire une idée, moi, ma vidéo qui avait le plus de vues, il devait y en avoir à peu près 5000. Et mon premier battle au Rap Contender, c'était la première vidéo de Rap Contender qui est sortie, c'était la mienne contre Black Apart à l'époque. Et elle a fait à peu près 40 000 vues en une semaine.
Thanks to the artists of L'Entourage, French hip-hop Battle League Rap Contenders is a hit in high schools and brings rap to a new audience.
Les Rap Contenders, c'est aussi un truc d'indépendant en vrai. À la base, c'est Denis, il nous a contactés sur Internet, il cherchait des MC. Nous, on s'est chauffé parce qu'on était tout un collectif et il y avait un esprit de compétition sportive, etc.
C'est vrai que ça nous a permis de se faire un peu plus connaître, mais c'est aussi grâce à nous que le Rap Contender s'est fait connaître en France.
Ici c'est Paris, ici c'est Paris, ici c'est Paris, ici c'est Paris, ici c'est Paris.
En 2009 et tout 2010, on a vraiment retourné Paname en termes de tout ce qui est open mic, freestyle. C'était dans cette dynamique d'être partout où on pouvait, dès qu'il y avait moyen de rapper, il fallait qu'il y ait au moins des gars du groupe qui soient là.
Avec le recul, c'était fait pour marcher dans le sens où tu vas dans un collège, un lycée, aujourd'hui tous les petits ont des téléphones où ils ont accès à YouTube et donc du coup ça a fait vraiment un boucan pas possible. Grâce à ça, on a pu nous transformer l'essai derrière. Donc on a envoyé des vidéos de freestyle, on a envoyé des morceaux et tout de suite ça a fait, chaque vidéo qu'on envoyait faisait très vite, 2, 3, 400 000 vues, ça allait très vite.
C'était très accessible à des gens qui
écoutaient pas de
rap. C'est comme un espèce de sketch. Après, il y a des gens qui nous suivent encore aujourd'hui et qui nous ont découvert par des clashs.
Faut vraiment se remettre dans le contexte. À l'époque, dans le rap français, il n'y avait pas de gros trucs qui partaient super vite comme ça, à part les têtes d'affiche. Donc ça a surpris un peu tout le monde. Et en fait, quand on a sorti le premier clip, du coup, ça a permis à tout ce monde de se fédérer derrière nous. Et ça a marché direct. Donc en fait, ceux qui nous connaissaient pas, qui nous avaient jamais vus, ils ont vu un clip et boum, ils ont vu plein de vues. Mais en fait, on n'est pas arrivé avec juste un clip et un truc. Il y avait vraiment un travail de fond qui était même pas un travail en fait. C'était par passion qu'on faisait ça. Il n'y avait pas de calcul derrière tout ça.
J'ai envie de tout arrêter. J'ai la flemme et je trouve pas mes clés. C'est la merde et je goûte la détresse. Y'a rien sur ma fiche de paye. Ma mère stresse, elle déteste qu'on me fiche la paix. L'allégresse s'évapore. Pour
nous, le moment important, c'était de savoir si on continuait en indé à 100% ou si on prenait une distrib en major. Donc nous, on a fait ce choix-là qu'on regrette pas. Hein. Franchement, ça nous a permis d'accélérer pas mal certaines choses.
Aujourd'hui, nous, on est entre deux et donc du coup, les maisons de disques sont à tatillon. Elles savent pas, tu vois, elles se disent, elles sentent qu'il y a un truc qui les dépasse parce que concrètement, on est 100 personnes, on arrive à remplir des salles, on arrive à faire plus de vues que leurs artistes signés sur lesquels on fait des clips à 600 € ou alors même des fois à 0 € et on arrive à faire des millions de vues. Donc à partir de là, si tu arrives à créer quelque chose via Internet, tu deviens soit un danger, soit le mec qu'on veut signer pour les maisons de disques. Wiz Khalifa, c'est l'exemple type. C'est les mecs qui ont choisi carrément, eux, de faire de la musique gratuite au début pour pouvoir remplir les salles, pour pouvoir envoyer des messages à l'industrie au final. Dire, voilà, sans vous, on ne vend même pas nos disques, on les donne. Mais au concert, la salle est pleine et quand je vais voir ces dates de concert, je suis juste affolé, quoi.
Live shows are now at the heart of the strategy of development for a new artist like Wiz Khalifa, and many others are following his lead. The constant presence of the artist on social networks is complemented by his physical presence at shows.
I think Wiz Khalifa is a genius because he did it without radio for a really long time. And over that time, he built his base. Anywhere he goes, his shows sell out. I caught his show at House of Blues, and I was like, God damn. Packed, sold out, everybody, every word to every song from every album. Like, it was just mind-blowing for a dude that is just now getting on the radio.
I really think that in many ways we're pioneering how the new era of rap artists operate, where it's like, we're gonna release music and we're gonna get on the road, you know? Then we're gonna come back and record more and release it and then hit the road again. We want it to be sold out. We want people not to be able to get in to a certain degree, because the next time they're gonna buy tickets earlier, they're gonna buy a couple for their friends, and we're gonna be able to play, whereas this time we might play an 1,800 person venue, next time we're gonna play a 3,000 person venue.
Every night's a new experience, you know. Opening up has been, you know, an honor first because he's worked really hard to build this fan base that he's got. And so sharing that with me is you know, I'm down for life for Wiz, for opening that door, you know?
Record single Black and Yellow marks the return of Wiz in the major label system. Atlantic Records is behind his successful collaboration with Norwegian hit-making producer Stargate. The triple platinum record is a phenomenal success for Wiz, validating all the work he and his comparatively small team did to build his fan base.
Wiz, no one worked me on that record. I found it online. And it just so happened that it was great timing for him because he was doing the Wake and Bacon tour. All of his fans, like crazy, would call me, man, I want to hear that Black and Yellow, Black and Yellow, Black and Yellow, before we started playing it, before it hit the radio. The people wanted it, so they got it.
There was actually a point where, you know, some of my hires up asked if I wanted a budget because it was working, and I said, no, it's a real record. We don't need anything to bolster it except it's a hit. It was a perfect storm, you know. The Pittsburgh Steelers went to the Super Bowl that year, Black and Yellow. Like, there were a lot of things that were all aligned perfectly.
Now that we're signed to a major, we wanted to continue to work and use their muscle to help blow it up faster. But we have to be really delicate with the fan base. You have to be very delicate with the artist and really manage that whole situation.
I still have all the exact same freedom. I get to pick my records, I get to pick my looks, I get to write my videos, I get to release what I want to release, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely not a selling out type of, or, you know, giving up everything that I worked for. I got the motherfuckers over there making papers. We're embracing the Taylor game.
If you don't have momentum, if you're not going into the major label deal with a lot of stuff going for you, just like we did with Wiz, I'm not saying you won't have success, but you can still do so much on your own that it's better to get that going before you get into the system.
And now he's headlining, 12, 15,000 seat tours. It's a whole different level 2 years later since Atlantic Records got involved in his career.
Wiz is a great testament to showing what you can do just by building your fans. Take the time to do that. Radio isn't necessarily going to get you fans.
Labels today, they don't have the time that it used to take to develop them. One, the development is gone. You do that on your own time. And then you come in there and say, I have 30,000 sales. Can you help me bring it to 200? That's how the game works today.
It was just good timing. I had put out a lot of songs, that rep my city or defined who I was as a person. But I think all the work that I had put in at that point, of course the tours that I was going on and stuff like that, it all just kind of went together in Black and Yellow. The push that Atlantic put on it, having a major label who was interested in me as an artist and knew how to work my music, still knows how to work my music. It helped out a lot.
Thanks to the internet, the rise of new artists in France, like the biggest record-selling group of 2012, Section d'Assaut, signals the end of the industry's reluctance to sign new hip-hop acts in the past few years.
Aujourd'hui, je signe des artistes quand ils ont fait tout le travail en amont. Moi, je viens pour accélérer la dynamique d'un travail déjà fait par des indépendants.
Moi, je pense qu'il ne faut pas signer tout de suite, il faut faire son buzz. C'est le peuple qui donne le pouvoir, la force. Ça sert à rien de signer direct en maison de disque. Fais ton buzz et après tu signes. Même si tu as des contacts, attends un peu, quoi.
Il faut savoir que les plus gros artistes français, la grosse partie, ils sont tous en maison de disque, ils sont tous en major. Même s'il y en a qui fonctionnent avec des boîtes indépendantes en licence ou quoi que ce soit. Mais au final, on est tous affiliés quand même à ces grosses maisons de disques.
J'ai l'impression qu'il y a deux trucs. Il y a soit on se dit, on fait l'impasse sur certains revenus traditionnels, genre les ventes de disques par exemple. On se dit on va en vendre un peu moins, on va donner un peu plus de gratuit et capitaliser sur l'image que ça apporte. Comme on a kiffé la musique et qu'on a bien aimé aussi ne pas dépenser trop d'argent pour avoir les disques des gens, on a toujours mis tous nos titres disponibles. Je pense qu'il y a différentes façons de voir les choses et l'argent, où est-ce qu'il se trouve? Aujourd'hui, il se trouve dans le live. C'est pour ça qu'il y a beaucoup de gens qui se remettent au live alors qu'ils avaient complètement arrêté. Nous, on le fait pas pour ça, mais aujourd'hui, c'est une source de revenus importante pour nous. Le merchandising, c'est toujours une source de revenus intéressante. Tout ce qui est deal avec les marques, faire des opérations, ça aide. Nous, on réinjecte quasiment tout dans la prod, faut le savoir, parce qu'on fait des clips qui sont hors de prix par rapport à notre niveau de développement. C'est aussi pour ça qu'on peut se le permettre, parce qu'on a des deals intéressants à côté, quoi.
With the help of established industry executives, hip-hop group Odd Future stormed the music business stage led by mastermind Tyler, the Creator. With Odd Future, success isn't just a case of radio plays or chart positioning, but of how many fans engage in the world created by the group.
When you fucking up, but truthfully I had enough and fuck world play, cause I'm a rebel bitch, I'm asking
I discovered him online and found more of Earl's stuff and then found some of the stuff by Tyler, everyone else in the crew, and it just kind of kept coming, and there were music videos and there were skits and there were 4 or 5 mixtapes at the time. Not only was all this content, but they had produced it themselves. They had engineered the mixtapes themselves. Obviously, they rap it. They made the beats on all but one of the mixtapes. So it's just like, not only was it all of this content, but like all of these kids producing all of this crazy, good content.
Within a few months, the group makes headlines in the media, signs a distribution deal with Sony, and develops a TV series for Adult Swim. It's the group's only female member, Sid the Kid, who by letting them record for free in her home studio, solidifies the group's sound.
I'm the mixing engineer of Odd Future, and I mixed Goblin, that's dropping soon. I'm producing his album coming out soon. I swag shit out, bro. Honestly, Tyler's the master mastermind behind the internet marketing because he's the one who started it. Before I was even a part of it and before he was a part of it, Tyler had a following. It was small, but it was very loyal.
Matt Martians, who's from Atlanta, arrives in LA and helps create a new subgroup within Odd Future, the Internet.
Me and Sid kind of like bounce ideas. We have so many ideas that come up, you know, and we have somewhere we can just put them down like right away. And
it worked out. We just make beats and it's natural and we're just hanging out, but we're just happen to be being productive at the same time. So.
Everybody that I work with, all my close friends, I met on the internet. But it's cool and it's kind of easier to become friends. I don't get why it's such a big deal because you see what they like immediately, and you cut past all the bull of, okay, they like this artist, I like this artist, and it's like you find a common ground and you build a friendship on it. So I think it's more so it cuts out the middleman or the time limit of really making good friends.
When I make music, I sort of just fill each void that I hear. I just hear flaws and I fix them, or I hear things that I think should be there and I put them there. And so in my head, the music sort of makes itself.
Yo, wow. I told you we swag. Wow. Play that back, please. Wow.
You could have like $100,000 of equipment with all the analog, like all the tape and the compressors, and you make some of the most terrible shit that you've ever heard. And there's a guy with maybe like just a laptop making some genius stuff. It really doesn't matter.
It depends on the person, dude.
Odd Future, ça montait un peu, mais Sid n'était pas connu, c'était l'ingé son, quoi. J'ai téléchargé toutes les mixtapes qui étaient sorties. J'ai kiffé les mix, en fait. Je me suis renseigné, j'ai vu que c'était Sid, et je l'ai trouvé sur Facebook, je l'ai ajouté. J'ai demandé les prix. Et elle me disait qu'elle savait pas, parce qu'en fait, elle avait jamais fait payer de gens, tu vois. Elle m'a dit, je crois, un truc comme $30, un truc comme ça. Et finalement, elle a mixé 90% de mon EP Prêt pour l'argent 1.5. J'ai enregistré dans des conditions, c'était n'importe quoi. En tout cas, elle a sauvé le truc, quoi.
If it's dope, it's dope. I'm not really a snob in that way of, oh, it must be analog. I don't give a fuck. That shit dope. It's
People
dope.
listen to that stuff on laptop speakers. That's really the end of the discussion. Like,
if yesterday's band was all about music, it was a drummer, a guitar player, saxophone player, guitarist, keyboardist, and a singer, right? Today's band might be those people, but also a web designer, a graphics designer to do your merch, so that all the components of your rollout are original to you and your group.
Originally a magazine project started by Tyler, the Creator, Odd Future today is a music group that includes skaters, visual artists, and friends as members.
Tyler, the Creator.
Oh, this is Tyler.
That's Tyler.
It's the dirty Care Bear. Hey,
Spit a verse. All right, look. So, me and my niggas, we gooning.
Where was you at?
I don't know, motherfucker, but I'm feeling good.
Me and Tyler met when I was like 13 or some shit a long time ago. I've known Earl since I was in 2nd grade. Haji, I met at my studio with Sid, because Sid's my sister. When I jumped in it was all music and skating and doing bad shit. Yeah, hey, Nakel, Sagan, Cedric, come here. Lionel, Matthew, Gilbert. Who else is around here?
Hey, y'all.
All right, this is Nakel, he skates, he's from OF.
Yep.
This is Khalees, he skates, he's from OF. This is Matthew, he just works and shit, he's from OF. This is L-Boy Swag.
I sell crack.
He sells crack. Where the fuck is Sagan? What y'all?
Yeah, we crazy.
Youngest videos and shit. I actually went to the set, but I got there late because I had school and shit. I didn't know about it until the day it happened. Nobody did. Nobody did until after, until it was released pretty much. But it was crazy. And then the cockroach in the video and shit, I'm scared of cockroaches. So obviously Tyler's gonna, chase me around a cockroach, and I almost passed out and started crying. Sorry.
I'm an overachiever, so how about I start a team of leaders and pick up Stevie Wonder to be the wide receiver?
Yonkers, a video directed by Tyler, the Creator, is the greatest viral success on YouTube for an independent rapper. The combination of the strong visuals and Tyler's performance contribute to make it one of the year's most talked about music videos.
The visuals and the imagery is all super important. Like, just
how they portray themselves, whatever, like that's what people are into. People are into like the I don't give a shit attitude, like whatever. And I'm just trying to document that in my photos. Billboard was the first photo shoot we've ever had. That was where we're like, yo, we need to sit down and like shoot.
Listening.
Shooting them, it's just kind of different. Like, they're all unique individuals. They're all really interesting characters, and they're all kind of different in a sense. And like Tyler does his whole thing. It's just like everyone photographs differently, and I'm into that.
Tyler is my hero.
Right now, I'm the happiest I think I'll ever be. Fuck Tyler.
I met Tyler on Fairfax. He was with Gilbert in front of Supreme. Came up to him, I said, what's up, yo? Hey, you should come out to like, me and my homie Skeet, we had this warehouse that we were throwing parties at. And so they came down to the warehouse, and then I bought a bunch of spray paint. I remember when he was doing that shit, and he was like, yo, this is the first time I've ever done this before, put like my art up like giant like that. And then that kind of turned into, obviously, like one of the, not the logos, but one of the many logos that Odd Future uses.
God damn. Look at the detail I put into it.
An emblematic figure of the Fairfax scene, which is a stretch of an old Jewish neighborhood that has become the international hub of streetwear. Tyler, the creator, was first known for his pranks as a skater, who used to hang out on the block with his friends. Today, he has opened a clothing store there that has become one of the main sources of revenues for the group, and a point of contact for the fans.
Fairfax is the home front, like that's the block. Everybody comes down there, whether you're a Joe Schmo rapper from the block or you're Lil Wayne or Rick Ross or anybody. It hasn't always been like that. It used to just be Supreme on there and then a couple people's offices, and then the Hundreds opened up, and then Diamond opened up, and then Flight Club, and then the vintage shops, and then everything.
The brand pretty much took off from the internet. It started from the internet and ended off at a store. It just shows you how you can take something from the internet and just make it real. If you have your own style and your own vision for it, I think it'll stand out no matter what. We definitely open the doors, Tyler the creator, kids like us, we open the doors for other young kids that want to be creative and just want to be heard. And I think it's real crowded now, you know what I'm saying?
I remember like way back, it was only like 10 people in the crowd. Now like they're going internationally and everybody like looking at their stuff. I think it's tight. No one really gave them like the opportunity. They did it themselves.
Motherfucker, I'm on TV!
If you want to like know about shit, you got to do like research. And like all the kids that are in Odd Future, they all do like their homework. They do like street homework of knowing what's up. They kind of like know what's up about clothing. They know what's up about music. They know what's up about partying. They know what's up about, photography, videos.
Odd Future, they have their shoe. I know what it feels like, so I see it in the store, I buy it. I skate, so I'm gonna wear it while I'm skating. So it's like, you always gotta be a consumer, a fan, and in general, like just keep the energy moving. The lifestyle and the personality that goes into the music is that just as important as the music.
No matter how different the markets are in France and the US, the similarities are growing, with a strong return to valuing authenticity and a growing diversity of artists. The internet enables the rise of a global type of artist who isn't limited by frontiers and whose music world can be shared and appreciated by all.
Je trouve que le panorama n'a jamais été aussi grand dans le rap actuellement, et je pense qu'il a vocation encore dans les années futures à encore s'enrichir, si tu veux. Voilà, il y a des groupes qui sont qu'à leur début, un 995, Escrew.
Ce qui est marrant, c'est que j'ai l'impression pour une fois, dans l'histoire du rap en tout cas, que la France et les États-Unis sont à peu près au même niveau, enfin je veux dire à la même période dans le rap. Un espèce de retour aux sources avec un peu d'innovation, un retour à l'indépendance et au homemade, à tout tu sais, les vidéos faites par des potes et tout le monde s'y met, tu sais. Après, il y a des espèces de collectifs qui percent tous ensemble. Ça, c'est vraiment charmé.
Et donc, il y a une application, c'est ça, du escroc?
Oui, exactement. On a repris un petit peu l'univers de Senzu et on a décidé de faire des animaux totems pour chaque membre de l'entourage.
Marathon. Senzu, c'est l'album, il est sorti lundi, on le découvre cette semaine entre 20 et 21. Il y a du live, du gros live tous les soirs. Ce soir, je sais pas si vous aurez la force.
Bah, dans les nouveaux, ce qui est bien, c'est que ils ont chacun leur truc. Les nouveaux, personne se ressemble. C'est ça qui est bien. Un mec de Montpellier, t'as Joke. Tu vois, il a son truc à lui. Attitude, sap, machin, flambe et tout. C'est bien. Après, c'est le public qui juge.
En fait, je pense que je m'inspire, mais en fait, la manière dont je travaille, moi, c'est comme si j'étais là-bas. Je le vois pas en mode je suis un Français et je regarde ce qu'ils font et je vais ramener ça ici. C'est rien à voir avec ça. Je vais faire mon truc, mais comme si j'étais dans le game de là-bas, parce que c'est le game qui me convient le plus, quoi.
La différence est que maintenant, pour moi, si tu veux, la règle a changé. T'as plus autant besoin d'être sur une capitale pour réussir. Et je pense qu'on aura d'ailleurs à long terme de plus en plus de gens voilà, qui ont leur propre univers, qui sont artistes dans leur tête et qui peuvent venir vraiment de n'importe où.
Moi, tu vois, par exemple, un Caris, je peux écouter dans la même playlist un Caris et un Orelsan. Ça me pose pas de problème. Tant que musicalement, il y a une empreinte, il se passe quelque chose, t'écoutes Caris, il se passe un truc. Et ça, jusque-là, c'était pas ça.
Là-bas, il y a une audace qui est validée, en fait. C'est pas forcément que ça m'influence, mais au moins, ça me donne un aperçu sur, OK, aujourd'hui, ça, c'est possible. Ça peut être très haut, on peut être français et finir comme Daft Punk.
From Paris to LA, artists have freed themselves and are now defining a new way of dealing with the record industry. Each establishes his own path and creates his own model. Since his successful partnership with Warner, Wiz has become a household name and is one of the highest paid artists in hip-hop. Thanks to social media, he is still as close to his fans, including his French fans who return the love by coming to his shows.
Le message, c'est plutôt vivez jeune et profitez de la vie. Voilà, c'est ça.
Il a donné son énergie pour nous, tu vois. Et voilà, on a reçu, on lui a donné notre énergie, voilà. Pas encore ses pairs, donc je persévère. Oh Mike, je te frappe comme un persévère.
While waiting for the next reincarnation of the bass god, Lil B still operates completely independently, and his shows continue to sell out, far removed from the woes of the record industry.
I'm so happy I'm alive right now, and love is the weapon.
Since the creation of the internet in Matt Martian's room, the group has produced 2 albums on Odd Future Records and is now touring. In tribute to Tina Marie, the Ivory Queen of Soul, Sid the Kid has her own recording studio, Chateau Marie, and still records young artists for a very nominal fee.
We wanted to make a place that, you know, people with just a little bit of money and a dream could get what they need done, because that's how Odd Future started, you know.
15 years after Napster, the music industry continues in its endless quest for reinvention. Fat Beats closed its stores and is now focused on distribution, its catalog available for sale on the internet. The hip-hop giants don't hesitate to bypass the record industry anymore. Consider Jay-Z, who sold 1 million downloads in advance to a mobile company.
I think today, the key word is transmedia. You can't do the internet without TV or music. It's all one. And kids don't look at the difference between, oh, I'm on the internet now and I'm watching TV. This is my one combined experience, right?
Tout va vite parce qu'on découvre. YouTube, iTunes, tout est nouveau, tout le monde découvre tout. Les gens, les abonnements Spotify, Deezer, les trucs, le streaming, c'est tellement nouveau qu'aujourd'hui, on a l'impression que ça change tous les jours, mais c'est parce que c'est nouveau pour tout le monde.
It's a cycle, it just goes through cycles and it gets crazy and people see how far they can go with technology and new stuff. And then it all goes back to, you know, the origin and original, where it started at.
The thing that, for me, that just keeps me going is that no matter what happens, the medium will always change. The medium will always change, but the message won't. So as long as you have a message that's worth a damn and people feel inspired to talk about and share, then you will be able to continue making your art.
You don't need a label right now to get started. You know, start building on your own. You know, you have the internet just like we have the internet. The gatekeepers are not really the gatekeepers anymore.
The internet is crazy, right? The internet lets you meet people from all the way across the world and that you never even met before.
It's always going to be useful for, you know, an instant worldwide ear.
The artists are slowly taking the control back musically.
Everyone's doing something different. You don't have to be a quote-unquote New York rapper to pop in New York anymore.
A lot of people are saying that we're bringing hip-hop back, and a lot of the same amount of people might agree that we're not. We're doing a
a total disservice to hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it. You know what I mean? Thanks to the internet. You know.
The internet enabled the rise of the hip-hop 2.0 generation, which is now establishing its own code. 40 years after its appearance, hip-hop carries on innovating, surprising, and converting new fans worldwide, proving that now more than ever, the world is yours.